Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a brand new Ascension Relationships Energy Update where we go a little bit on a higher level deep dive into the Sacred Union partnerships and what it all means. I wanted to do this reading specifically because we have been experiencing a lot, and some of us have been processing a lot as far as these divine counterpart, sacred union connections, sacred partnership connections. Some might call it twin flame. The label doesn't matter. It is that soul connection that you feel with another person. Could be a twin flame, could be a high vibrational soulmate, but the purpose is that you have activated each other as catalysts for evolution and growth through the energy of true love, divine love. And it's what true love actually is. It's what it has always meant. It just kind of got convoluted and even corrupted throughout time. But this is that true divine love. I think we're gonna use this deck first, I think. If you guys watched the last Sacred Union Energy Update, I was kind of going through a process myself. And I shared a lot of my personal experience because that's how, if you're new to the channel here, that's how I share. That's how I'm part of this collective as well. I'm on this journey myself. And so I share my experiences as part of my channelings because that's what I'm guided to do. That is how I relate. That is how I share the messages, the energies that I'm receiving. And it helps me to process as well because this is an energy exchange here. If you guys watched that last Sacred Union Energy Update, you know that we were really going through a process of remembrance, and that's what it really feels like. We've been going through this process of remembering who we truly are, and when it comes to our sacred other, who we are to each other, what we mean to each other. It's almost like we've been drawn back full circle to the very beginning of your connection, when you had that first spark of recognition, that first spark of familiarity. I've been channeling this for the better part of 2 years, 3 years now, where it looks like this. And we're going to talk about this again. I talked about this in the Twin Flame Truths channeling. Maybe it's more like this. There's some overlapping energies. It's the it's an infinity symbol, but it's also that I forget what it's called. Something Pisces, the Visica Pisces, I think that's what it's called. It's this energy. Turned on its side, it's an infinity symbol, right? But this is how it was always presented to me, as this is one part of the twin flame journey, or the Sacred Union path of ascension, because that's what we're really on. We're on the Sacred Union path of ascension. So it looks like this is one part of the journey, and this is the next phase of our journey. This is where we've been now. And it's funny that they wanted me to redo it, because this is like the overlapping energy, the transitional energy. So here is that moment where you were connected or reunited in this lifetime with your divine counterpart. Now, you might have had other meetings previous, but you had that activation where you were both ready to start ascending to a higher level. You were both ready to start clearing out the cobwebs, clearing out the soul sludge, clearing out being triggered. But trigger is just an opportunity for you to see, okay, what patterns need to shift, what trauma needs to be healed and cleared, what separation has to be healed. Because this is a journey of faith. This is a journey of recognizing that separation is an illusion. Even though we're on the Sacred Union path of ascension, we remember that we've always been walking the Sacred Union path because we're always in union. That the illusion is that separation. And so here you had that activation. And then what happens is you're on this journey together. For some, it might look like physical separation. For others, you're doing this in proximity with each other. But this was the journey of individual discovery, individual self-discovery. And you meet here. It all converges. You all converge here at one union point. I guess you could call it a union window. It's a reconciliation. It's a reunion. It's a higher state of being because it's a higher frequency. And so what happens then is you go from what they like to differentiate for me between the labels is it's like this is the twin flame, this is the twin soul. Where the twin flame is like really intense. It's the activation for ascension where you're having major consciousness shifts, shifts in perspective, shifts in understanding. It's deeper and deeper and deeper levels of awakening. Because you don't just go through one awakening, you go through multiple awakenings throughout your journey, throughout your life. Deeper levels of ascension. And ascension is understanding, it's consciousness, awareness. It is connection with yourself. The more you know yourself, the deeper you know yourself, not just on the superficial identity level, but the more you know yourself and connect with yourself as soul, the deeper you connect with yourself as one with God, connected to God, the universe, whatever it is that you want to call it, the more you're able to know, love, honor, and connect with others, including your sacred partner, which is your most intimate connection. Your romantic relationships are your most intimate connections. They're the sacred connections. You can have those relationships with soul family, soul brothers and sisters. You can have a lot of growth and evolution with others. But your sacred partner is your significant other. Your sacred partner is your counterpart. It is your most intimate connection. So the twin flame is intense because it is rewriting or rewiring all that programming, all that patterning. And it's lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. Not just this incarnation, but past incarnations. It's trauma. It's generational. It's lineage. It's within yourself. It's your own mind rewiring or your patterning. And it is your relationship with others around you as well. You're basically rewriting this, but you're doing this with your counterpart, where you and your counterpart are triggering each other. I go deep into this in the Twin Flame Truths channeling. I have the full channeling available for purchase on my website, but I do have excerpts available on a playlist here on my channel for free, so make sure that you're checking that out if you want to, go down that path and understand that deeper. This is, the Twin Flame Truths channeling is 5 years of my teachings and channelings and understanding, all kind of wrapped up into one. And it's continuing to evolve. But it's kind of like a summation of everything that we've ever talked about on the channel, everything that we've ever channeled and learned here on the channel, all summed up in 1 3-hour channeling. But again, I have excerpts of that here on the channel, the really important pieces, the summary of it. So the twin soul aspect is what they gave me. It can be the same person, but it feels different. It feels like a different energy. And when I say it feels like a different energy, it's because you got through all of that consciousness shift. You got through all of that soul sludge, and you remembered the love. So the twin soul is almost like, it feels like a soulmate, where it feels calmer. It feels more peaceful. It feels more harmonious. It's what people like to call harmonious union. That's what the twin soul energy is. It could be somebody new. You could have somebody who is that catalyst connection, and then somebody else who comes in as that life partner, as a divine match for your higher frequency, because you've gone through evolution, you've gone through shifts in consciousness, you have changed your energy, changed your frequency. I should say evolved in your energy, evolved in your frequency. So it could be somebody new that's coming in as that divine match to that new and higher frequency. Or it could be this person that you've known as your counterpart, who has been growing and evolving alongside you, energetically or physically alongside you, who has also shifted into a new and higher state, a new and higher frequency, and is continuing on your journey together. Remember, twin flame is an energy. It's not a specific person. That took a long time for me to understand and realize and accept. But it's an energy. It's not a person. It could be the same person. That's not to say it can't be the same person. It could be the same person, but It's making sure that it's a match to your frequency, your evolved frequency, so that you're matched to each other. We've been talking about this as not in the wounded state anymore. The previous incarnation of your relationship or your connection was more in a wounded state because, again, you were triggering each other. You were growing together. And again, triggers are the opportunities for you to heal. You were reflecting each other. You were being that divine mirror. And I like the phrase divine mirror now because it's like it wasn't out of cruelty. It was in the energy of love. It was like you were contracted to show each other truths about yourself, to evolve, to grow, to challenge each other in the energy of love. That's what these divine counterparts are. That's what these partnerships are. They are activations. They are catalysts for growth. You are catalysts for each other growth. That doesn't mean that you don't have physical relationships and all the beauty that comes from that human experience of having a physical relationship, from having a romantic relationship, from having a family or business partnership or working together or traveling together or whatever it is that you want to experience within your human vessel. But the overall theme, the mission, the purpose is love and to grow and evolve in that energy of love. And so this is where we are now. And there might be some overlapping energies here. There might be some transitional energies here, but this is where we are. We have expanded into a new and higher frequency. And so we're calling in counterparts. Again, could be the same person, could be somebody new that is that divine match, but we're calling in the energy of the higher frequency because we're no longer in the wounded state. We're in the expanded state, the healing state. And I use healing as an active verb rather than past tense because you're continuing to heal, but not with the same reactions. In a more conscious way, you're healing. Again, you're not in the wounded state where you're defensive and you're offensive and you are repeating trauma patterns. That's what you were healing previously in the previous journey or phase of your journey that you were on. Now you're in a more conscious healing state, and that's where you come together with your counterpart. If you were in separation, this could be coming together with your counterpart again in that reunion, in that reconciliation for more conscious healing. So now you're working together and consciously working together where you might have felt like you were projecting old wounds onto each other, so it felt like you were working against each other. There might have been energies of betrayal, mistrust, deception, withholding, withdrawing, avoidance, codependency, anxious attachment. These were all things that your counterpart mirrored to you to show you yourself, to help you elevate into the highest frequency through your self-growth and your healing. That was your journey of individualization. This journey has been one of self-empowerment and self-love. Again, showing you yourself to connect to yourself on the deepest level and connecting to God on the deepest level. And now, we are embarking on a new phase of our journeys. We've been talking about this for quite a while now, but it's here. It's like this was all preparation for it, to make sure that we have been initiated into this highest frequency, really embodying and anchored into this highest frequency of ourselves. The highest frequency for this moment in time, this pivotal time in space, where we are now collectively, for us to come together in a much more conscious way, a more conscious state of being, a more aware state of being, for continued healing, not only of ourselves, but relationally. How do we relate to others? How are we in relationship with each other? And for the global collective as well. Because when twin flames come together, or twin souls come together, whatever label you want to use, sacred partners come together, you're in the energy of love. What you were doing previously was you were clearing out anything that wasn't love. And yes, that could have felt like a struggle and a challenge and really intense and painful. But you were clearing out anything that wasn't love to anchor in more light and more love within yourself. And the more that you anchor in more love and more light within yourself, again, connecting deeply to the soul of yourself, the more that love expands, the more that it reverberates, the more that it ripples out to affect everyone around you. You might have noticed that your dynamics, your family, your friends are leveling up. Some more toxic connections, or those that might not be where you are, might fade away. And that's okay. It's all about vibration. It's all about the energy. It's not rejection. It's just about the energy. You might have also noticed that dynamics are healing or mending or getting better. It's because of the energy. And so you and your counterpart, 2023, we channeled in the 2023 year ahead reading. The 2023 is going to be a big energy of connections and relationships. Because previously, you might have been doing this with your partner, especially if you're on the Sacred Union path. You were activated with a partner. Your partner's been your mirror. You've been going through this growth journey with them because they were triggering you. They were showing you truths of yourself. But it was still a journey of self-discovery. It was still a journey of self-individualization, self-connection. Because again, you have to know yourself and deeply understand yourself and connect with yourself on a soul level. And God's still part of that equation. Because to know yourself is to know God. To know God is to know yourself. The more that you know yourself and connect with yourself, the more that you can expand that to others. And your sacred partner is a part of that. We once got the Trinity energy with the Three of Pentacles here. It was like a triangle they showed me, where this is God's source, masculine and feminine, always connected. And then they showed me, well, that's kind of right, but you still see some separation energy here. There is no separation. That's what we're learning on this journey. And so they showed it to me rather than the Pentacles energy, they showed it to me as the Three of Cups, which is why the Three of Cups is my union card. They showed it to me as you have the two cups pouring into the third. The two cups being the divine masculine and the divine feminine, filled up in their own self-love, self-empowerment, self-sovereignty, self-authority, knowing themselves. To know yourself isn't selfish. It has a negative connotation sometimes. To know yourself is to honor yourself, to love yourself. It's just been so skewed by society's programs and corrupted by old templates. We're moving into a new paradigm where to love yourself enables you to more fully love another without the sacrifice of yourself, without the dishonoring of yourself. To have those healthy boundaries. To say, I'm not going to abandon myself. And because I'm not going to abandon myself, I'm not abandoning someone else. Because I'm honoring myself, I'm able to honor you. To know yourself is the highest pursuit of your spiritual purpose. Because to know yourself enables you to see more clearly how connected you are to every living consciousness. And that is unity consciousness. You are a unique thread in the tapestry of creation. You've heard me say that analogy so many times. It is the most profound way that they've ever put it for me. You're a unique thread in the tapestry of creation. But the whole tapestry is beautiful because everybody's that unique thread. And you all play a part to make up that tapestry, to make up that picture, to make up the whole. We all make up the whole, and that's unity consciousness. Unity consciousness is not being robots and automatons and everybody having the same opinion or the same thought. It is understanding we are part of creation as a whole. We all come from source energy, mother, father, God energy. We all have that template. We all have that blueprint. And we're unique expressions of that blueprint. We're unique expressions of that template. And so the more you fill up on your self-love, the more you're able to offer that to another, to your sacred connection, to others around you. And you fill up that love with God's source energy, because you are God's source. You are deeply connected to God's source. You are God's source. You are part of God's source. God's source is part of you. And so you can offer those cups of love to each other, but the 2 cups pour into the third. That third cup being the divine chalice. That third cup being God's source itself, that creation energy. And what happens when you pour into that third cup? It all becomes mixed. It's not oil and water where it creates a separation. Water and water and water is just water. And you don't know where one end and one begins. In nothing there is everything. In everything there is nothing. It is all that is, and all that was, and all that will ever be. It is everything. So the more that you connect with yourself and love yourself, and that's that journey of self and individuation you were on, even if you were with this partner, even if you're working in partnership or proximity with each other, even if you were in relationship with each other, you were still on a journey of self-growth. And now you're beginning a journey of connection. Okay, who are we in relation to each other? Relationship's going to be at the forefront now, because we're recognizing that union of all things. And your union with your counterpart is a part of that. Now, if you bring it down to the human experience, it's having that relationship with your partner. A committed relationship, monogamous relationship, if that's your value. Being with each other in life partnership, marriage, working relationship, friendship. Whatever your value is, whatever it is that your desire is, your partner will match that. It's going to be different for every couple, but your partner will match that value. Your partner will match what it is that you want, what you desire. Because you're the same energy field. You're that shared energy. So when we say that you have somebody coming in that is going to match that frequency, that's what we mean. They're matching that frequency on all levels. So you're going to have that human experience, because a human experience is the expression of your soul self. But you also allow yourself to expand that love to others. That doesn't mean, let me put it this way. You have that if say you want to be in relationship or connection with a life partner, with a counterpart, that's possible. That's happening. That's what you want. That's what you desire. That's what you call in. But the love that you experience together, the energy expands to others. We get caught up sometimes in the 3D energy of it all. I'm not talking about affairs or cheating or multiple relationships. That's not this. That's not that sacred partnership. I'm talking about you. You can have, if that's what you both desire, that's up to you guys. But I'm talking about, how do I say this? If you want that partnership with your partner, monogamous, committed, life partnership, marriage, whatever it is that you want, family, whatever it is that it looks like for you. The energy that you cultivate together, the love that you cultivate together, has a ripple effect on the energy field and all that are within your energy field and everything around you. Love expands. Love is expansive. It's when you withhold love that it retracts. So the love that you have and share with each other, even within your human experience, together as one, will have a ripple effect on others. It's like you can see this in certain couples, in soulmate relationships, in high vibrational energies. The joy that somebody exudes, the love that somebody exudes, can change somebody's day who's just observing them. Can be felt, can be experienced. And that has a ripple effect just by the observation of it. The love that you and your counterpart have together is so powerful that it has that same ripple effect. It reverberates throughout the entire cosmos. We talked about this in the cosmic effect. Your love is so powerful that when you come together in that sacred union, that conscious union, you create new universes, new worlds. That's the template that you're creating. You're writing a new template. And you're doing it together. I just keep getting called to Jesus and Mary Magdalene, or Isis and Osiris, as those divine couples. You're a couple. You're together. You're each other's sacred partner. Does that stop you from loving other people? Absolutely not. That love just continues to expand. That doesn't mean that you have to be a couple with other people, unless that's one of your values. It just means the energy is love. You know, when you first fall in love, the world just seems brighter, more colorful, just expansive, and you're loving everything. You're open. Your heart is open. That's what love is. That's what this love is. But on the highest level, and you've been learning this through unconditional love, is on the highest level, the highest frequency. You're still human and having a human experience. So you have your values, you have your desires, you have your boundaries. But that love that you feel with each other is expansive. You might be, let me put it this way, you might be exclusive as in a partnership, but love is not exclusive. You might experience a romantic relationship just with each other as part of your human experience. But the love that you experience together in that connection, in that relationship, ripples out. It expands. Love is expansive. And it's like double time because you're doing it together. It's the love that you have within yourself, the love that you have for and from your partner, the love that you have for and from each other. You express it to each other in your relationship, in your connection with each other. But that love just expands and ripples out as well. You might be exclusive to each other in relationship, but the energy of love then ripples out in non-exclusive ways. Does that make sense? That's what relationship is all about. It's relational energy. How do we relate to each other? And that's what 2023 is going to be about. You're going to see a lot more. There's these windows of opportunity, these windows of union that are opening up. And that's what we've been picking up on. Even if it looks kind of topsy-turvy, even if though it looks upside down, that's what we've been picking up on for the past 6 to 9 months. Where things might look completely opposite from what you're energetically feeling, but you're feeling the union energy. And you might not know how or when or where or with who it's coming in, but you're feeling that union energy. That's because that union energy is here. It's anchored in. And you're going to start seeing that in the physical form. Because it's time now. We've been in this preparation mode. Again, from the self-individualization, really connecting with yourself, knowing yourself, loving yourself, so that you can have healthy, conscious relationships. And through those healthy, conscious relationships, you learn more about the universe and unity consciousness, and shift into higher consciousness, and have higher levels of healing. 2023 is all about relationships. It's about relationship with your sacred partner. It's also going to be about your relationship and your connection with the world around you. your relationship or connection with money, your relationship or connection with material items, your relationship or connection with success, your relationship or connection with God, your relationship or connection with a location, a specific location, family, friends, soul family. Relational energy is everywhere. You have a connection with everything. Everything is interconnected here. So you've been on this journey of self-evolution and growth, even with your partner. And now it's about coming together in a conscious way, in a conscious relationship and partnership, and continuing that evolution in healthier ways, in loving ways, and that love continues to expand outward and outward and outward. All right, let's see where we are as a collective. Let's see where we are as a collective. You're remembering this. You're remembering each other. Bringing it back to you and your counterpart specifically, you're remembering each other. You're remembering the truth of love. The truth of who you always were. It's like you're coming full circle back to the beginning. We're coming full circle now back to the beginning of this reading, where it's like when you first saw each other or when you first met, you felt that home. You felt that familiarity. You felt that heart tug, that soul bond, just from the meeting of the eyes, just from that first smile. You saw love reflected back to each other because that's who you've always been. It was just the triggers and the soul sludge and the traumas and past lifetimes and generational stuff and your own stuff that was coming up to the surface, that was brought up to the surface to be healed and cleared so that you could come back to the remembrance that you are and always have been love. To heal that separation, to heal that illusion that you are anything other than love. You're remembering this now about each other. There's a lot of healing and forgiveness that's taking place right now. Self-care. There might be some purging that's happening. For divine feminines, especially. Well, I want to say the feminine energy that expresses the emotions. If you're a divine masculine, this could be the feminine energy within you. You might actually be crying. Divine masculines, you might be finding yourself more emotional or actually physically crying more than you used to or more than you ever had or more than you thought you would. But this is purge. This is an emotional release. And that emotional release is, it's just a purge. It's a purge. It's a release. So that you can anchor in, number one, higher timelines I'm hearing. And number two, more of that love. We have the card self-care as well. So you might be taking some time to yourself. That's what I've needed to do. That's why I've taken a step back from all these collective readings and just doing everything because I've needed to really nurture myself. So there might be that call for self-care and self-nurturance, but it's because you're anchoring. There's a lot of energy that's being processed right now. There's a lot that's being experienced on the quantum level. Maybe not even on the conscious level, but on the quantum level. There's a lot that's being experienced right now. And so there's a lot of required self-care, self-nurturance, really listening and being in tune with what your body needs. If your body needs sleep, sleep. If your body needs food, feed it. If your body needs hydration, drink water. If your body needs to purge, to release, allow that release. Trust your intuition. Trust your soul for whatever it is that you need at this time. Trust in that. Follow that. Because there's a lot of timelines that are merging. I want to say collapsing in on itself. It's almost like timelines are collapsing as we're merging into one timeline. That's what the healing work is about. It's about healing fractured timelines, fractured versions of self, and merging into the highest timeline is what's happening now. Tell me more about what's going on. Connection, exactly. You are the bridge. I've gotten this for a couple of clients in the year ahead readings, I feel, or one client. This came through this card, and it's the same similar message. This is the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. You are connected through the heart. Very long time ago, we channeled a message, meet me on the bridge of the heart. You have a shared chakra system with your counterpart. That's why you can feel each other's energy, because on an energetic level, you are one. You are two individuals, two personas, two people. And as such, you have your own free will, your own choices, your own lives, in essence. But you are one energy. That's why you can feel each other so distinctly, so clearly, so much. So much. But the feminine energy, you have both energies within you. Within you, the feminine energy is in the higher realms, in the higher chakras. She is the crown chakra, the brow chakra, the throat chakra. She is able to very easily intuit, see the higher perspective, the higher vision of things. She is able to express herself and her emotions. The masculine energy exists in the lower chakras. He's a very grounded energy. The masculine energy acts within the physical form. And we need both. Understand, we need both. That is the bridge. You are the bridge. That is your inner union. And as you experience inner union, that's then reflected in outer union with your counterpart. But you are the bridge itself. If you're looking at this on a macro level, for the greater global collective, you are the bridge between the spiritual realm and the physical human form. That's what your ascension journey is showing you. But if you're walking the sacred union path, if you've been on this doing this with a partner, you're understanding this from a more micro level with a counterpart, what that looks like with a counterpart. But that's what the greater ascension journey is all about. It's about being the bridge. You, through your ascension, become the bridge. That's what bringing heaven to earth is all about. It's about bridging the spiritual realm and the physical form. Being a human and not denying your human experience or your human existence for the sake of spirituality, but you're also not denying spirituality as part of your human experience. You are the bridge. It's all one. It's all merged. So the masculine form is very physical. They are active. They make things happen. And we need both, right? We need both. You can't have just spiritual nature and not have the human form. You can't have human form and not have spiritual nature, because then you're missing one whole part of the equation, one big piece of the picture, big whole chunk of the pie. You yourself are the bridge. And so when you're doing this with a sacred partner, again, you understand your inner union. That's your journey of self-actualization and self-connection and self-love and individualization. But then you also experience that in outer union with your partner, where you hold that space for each other, where you connect deeply to each other, where you love each other. In that connection, in that relationship, and in that container of your relationship. So a long time ago, you have the fourth chakra in the middle there. So the lower three chakras, the higher three chakras, you have the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. And a long time ago, we channeled that the feminine brings the energy down, the spiritual energy down. The masculine brings that energy up. And you meet on the bridge of the heart. That does not mean that the masculine is not spiritual. That does not mean that the feminine is not grounded in reality. That is your union. That is the balance of the yin and the yang. The masculine and the feminine. You meet on the bridge, and from the bridge it just expands outwards. This is the bridge, and how connected you are heart to heart. What I'm also getting guided to is her eyes being closed. She's in her heart space, and the masculine is looking at her. He sees her. He honors her. He's crossing that bridge towards her. She is not in a state of waiting. She's in a state of holding space within the heart space. She can feel the masculine. She can feel that union. That door to her heart is open. The path is clear. The heart light is on. The masculine is crossing the bridge. Last week we channeled that the masculine is on the journey home. On the journey home to themselves. But as they come home to themselves, they're on the journey home to their divine feminine. Let's get one more card here. What else do we need to know about sacred partners? What else do we need to know about sacred partners? We have the card Divine Being. There's a lot of realizations that are happening. I'm also hearing new coding that's coming through, new coding. And what I mean by that is you've been shifting a lot of patterns. You've been shifting through your awareness, through consciousness shifts, perspective shifts. You've been changing the coding within you. This is DNA coding, so on a very chemical level. We've understood this before, that as more light floods the body, your very DNA is changing. Your very molecular structure is changing. But I'm also getting the crown chakra. There's coding that's changing within the energetic body and the mind space. There's a lot of realizations that are coming through, a lot of clarity that's coming through. And I feel especially from the divine masculine perspective, whether this is your own inner masculine or this is the masculine who is that core masculine embodied, your sacred partner if you're a feminine. Remember to take it as both, because you have that shared energy. You're one. Again, you're two separate people, two individuals, but you have that shared energy system. So it's that quantum entanglement. As you heal, they heal. As you grow, they grow. There is a choice there. There is a free will there. But that's where if somebody was your ascension partner and they're choosing not to grow, or they're choosing not to go on this journey, then somebody else is coming in as that match for you. Because remember, it's an energy. But I feel like the masculine is especially receiving a lot of crown chakra upgrades, seeing things much more clearly. And I'm getting that they're not as much in resistance. There's a release of pride and a release of stubbornness. And that's part of the recoding that's happening as well. They're feeling the pull of the divine feminine. The masculine especially is feeling the pull of the divine feminine. You see again how she has her eyes closed and he's looking at her? He's feeling this connection on a heart level now, where he was trying to look at it logically. Oh, this doesn't fit my life. Oh, this doesn't fit my path. This doesn't fit my purpose. This doesn't fit where I was going. This doesn't fit in XYZ way. Now they're looking at it from the heart space and how you always fit. You were a piece of the puzzle that they might have avoided or denied because they didn't have the whole picture. And now that they're opened up to their feminine energy within them, they're seeing the whole picture in a much more cleared way. And a lot of that is because they have been healing their own wounded state. And that wounded state was where they might have been projecting onto you, pushing you away, denying you, avoiding you. But what's happening now is they're getting new insight and new coding. Well, I feel like you both are, but especially for the divine masculines, there's a lot of crown chakra activations that are happening. They're recognizing themselves as that divine being. They've been well on their ascension journey, and I feel like the Lionsgate portal, August 8th, was really that accelerated point for them. we talked a lot about that it opened a corridor of ascension for them. They've always been on this kind of ascension journey, but this was like the big one, the big push. All right, let's see what else we need to hear. Let's see Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. Remember your identity. You can do it. Interesting. Interesting, too, that we have kind of like a mask there. And it's like they're remembering their truth. The mask is falling off. And even if they didn't think that they were wearing a mask, it was like that was even more of the ego. More a part of the ego. Even like spiritual ego is what I'm hearing. That mask is falling off, and they're really tuning into their heart center, really tuning into the truth of who they really have always been, but they never really allowed themselves to portray it for a number of different ways. It's going to resonate with everybody differently, but they never truly allowed themselves to portray it. They held themselves back in some way, and that's the mask that they wore, that holding themselves back. I'm just seeing the Four of Pentacles energy. And I think the Four of Pentacles came out in the last Sacred Union energy update, but it's that kind of energy, really holding themselves back. And now it's like they're seeing the truth of that, and the mask is coming down, and they're allowing themselves to be all that they know they are and all that they wanted to always be, but they never really felt that they could be because maybe there were criticism or expectation or obligation or influence. But that mask is coming down. They're seeing themselves differently. They're seeing life differently. This is a huge consciousness shift for the masculine. What's going on for the feminine? Beyond illusion. Change your perception. You have been changing your perception. You're seeing beyond the illusion of separation. It's like your third eye is completely open. And even though sometimes you may get caught in very humanistic doubts and fears, there is this knowing that's anchored in. The truth is anchored in. And you're seeing beyond the illusion to that truth. Your perception has changed. I'm going to call you guys back to the previous Sacred Union energy update and the Patreon reading, because this will explain more about what the Divine Feminine has been going through. But Divine Feminine, I feel like your eyes are just like wide open. You see things differently now. You understand things differently. Remember when I said that it's like you're remembering the love? You're remembering your counterpart as who he was. I talked about this again in the previous Sacred Union update. You're remembering your counterpart, not based on the pain and the wounding and what you've been through together on your previous incarnation of your journey, previous phase of your journey, I should say. But you're remembering who you always were to each other and the love that always existed between you, the forgiveness, the joy, the happiness, the harmony that existed when you weren't triggering each other. That is the truth. That's what you're seeing. That's what you're open to now. That there's a huge layer of forgiveness that just came through in the past several days. I feel like the past week. A huge energy of forgiveness. It doesn't excuse past behavior. Those that are accountable need to be held accountable, responsible for their actions and behaviors. Where Divine Feminines, you are not accepting, and Divine Masculines too, both of you, not accepting less than what you deserve. You're not abandoning yourselves. You're not betraying yourselves. But you're also seeing where you were against each other, not because you were against each other in that way, but because you were just projecting onto each other your own wounding. You were projecting onto each other your own fears, your own traumas. And that created a lot of disconnect, a lot of pain, and even cycles of separation. Everybody's going to resonate with that a little bit differently according to your own individual journeys. But that's the energy of what was experienced here collectively. And union energies. What do we need to know for union energies? I'll just get one. What do we need to know for union energies, please? The generator, staying grounded. I'm just getting this energy of preparation again. It's like everything's generating. It's building up momentum. It's building up energy, and we can feel this. We've been feeling this excitement, this anticipation, I feel like since the beginning of the calendar year. We can feel this union energy. Stay grounded is the guidance here. Stay grounded. Stay present. Stay embodying this energy. Yeah, and they're pointing me to the 4-4 here, 224466. And what does that all come down to? It all breaks down to twos, right? They're all variations of twos. Numerical variations of twos, they're saying. This is this energy of new foundations being birthed. And you also have this energy of rebirth. We also have twin flame here. This is this energy of this new life, new connection, new relationship, new version, new frequency. It feels new because it is new, because it's a higher level, it's a higher frequency that's being birthed here between you and your counterpart, between you and your twin flame, twin soul, whatever the hell you want to call it. Believe in possibility. Believe in miracles. Believe in your truth. Doesn't mean to attach yourself to anything or anyone. Just anchor into your knowing, into your truth. Your truth. And that truth will be reflected back to you. Stay grounded. Again, be that bridge between human experience and spiritual being. Between reality, what's seen, and energy. The unknown. Be that bridge. There's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of momentum that's picking up. And I really feel like we're going to see some significant shifts over the coming weeks and coming months. I can't say much more beyond that because I just don't know. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know when that is. That's like that tower energy. Just expect the unexpected. But it does feel like there is momentum that is picking up. A lot of that action is on the masculine side. Divine Feminines, you've done your ascension. You've done your work. You're going to keep going through your ascension. You're going to keep processing and growing and evolving and expanding and leveling up and all those words. You're going to keep going. But you have done so much work within yourself. And you've taken action. Now it's time for you to embody your feminine essence and be. And it's the masculine's leap of faith. It's the masculine's action time. Their courage, their bravery, their strength. They're stepping up now. They're coming home. They're taking those first steps home. Divine Feminine, that doesn't mean that you stop your life. You have your own inner masculine energy that you use for your business, your career, your family, your social life, your whatever this is. You know, you still walk your path, but your counterpart is meeting you on that path. Meeting you on the bridge of the heart and meeting you that new level of your life as well. Allow yourself to be open to that, Divine Feminine. And Divine Masculine, you've got this. You've got this. The Divine Feminine believes in you, I'm hearing. Believe in yourself. Remember yourself. Remember you are loved. And always loved. That is going to be it for today. Feels like a good stopping point. I don't know when we'll be back. I'm still on hiatus. I am close to all personal bookings, except I am opening up to special readings for Valentine's Day next month. I'll be open to a limited number of slots, I think 10 slots only. So make sure that you're staying tuned to my social media platforms where I'll be announcing that. But I'm still pulled back from all readings for the time being, I think for the majority of February. I apologize for that, but self-care. I've got to take care of myself. My health is my #1 priority right now. Mental, physical, energetic, all of it is part of the whole. But I will be open to 10 slots for a Valentine's Day reading. Starting next week, which is, oh my God, next month. So make sure that you guys stay tuned to book one of those slots. And I'm sending you all so much love and light, and we'll see you next time.